I didn't become a barber just to, okay, cut hair and get money, man. It's like, I want to give back to the community. I want to do things like that. I'm a listener also, so I have a few clients that they've had, you know, some issues in their lives, and I've let them know, hey man, if you ever need something, just give me a call. It's deeper than me cutting your hair, man. If you just need to talk about some things, and I've actually had them call me outside of work, like, hey bro, I'm going through this.
You know, I always tell the story that my mother was incarcerated in Newark, New Jersey. I was born in a prison. And I always tell the story of being born in a prison and how growing up over my lifetime, having a lot of different issues of depression, anger, anxiety. You know, I never realized that I was truly going through a lot of mental health circumstances. And I never forget, at the age of 17, I was incarcerated as a juvenile. That was my turning point. And being able to understand by being a juvenile how I needed to be able to get my life on the right track. Ultimately, this helped me to know that by doing this work in my personal experience, this also helped me to understand that we can change a lot of people's lives in one place, in one staple, just using barbershops for instance, but also the work that we do in schools, college institutions, and trainings in corporate workplaces, and ultimately so we can see the better version of ourselves.
I've known Lorenzo for a long time. I remember the first time I met him, he said to me, you know what, I want to start a nonprofit. I want to start helping young men of color to be able to get connected with mental health services. Lorenzo did it, and he did it with fury and gusto. Lorenzo had every opportunity to take a path in his life that would have led him to prison and led him to drug abuse and other things in his life. He was going on that path, but he made a personal decision that he was going to reach out for help. And when he did, everything changed for him. And now he's sharing that same story with others and hoping that that opportunity will come to other people.
From my community, being an African-American male, really will not seek out mental health, but we'll go to the barbershop, right? That's a regular basis. So the Confess Project is in the barbershops having these discussions and dialogue. So there's that access to having these talks around mental health and dealing with the stigma of mental health and emotional wellness.
It's not about being crazy. It's about being open and honest with yourself about what you've been through and how you're feeling and how that's impacting your situation today.
We're offering mental health intervention where people are already showing up to. Just stepping out there and starting the conversation is an impact all of its own.
I've seen some changes within my clients, getting to a point where they're open enough to talk about mental illness, some of their issues and some of their relative issues, and I've provided resources so that they can connect with to get help. That's huge, that's huge for me.
I get a chance to give people spiritual directions, emotional directions, and just different business directions. It's very impactful being a barber because you got so many people that come in and talk to you. You talk back, a lot of them trust you. We do have the power to impact a lot of people, young and old.
We must now catalyze a movement around mental health, and particularly with barbers and leaders and front-hand support people that come in contact with young men of color, institutions, so that we can build and transform systems, so that we can see a better equity and see a better life outcomes, and also to see that young men of color can thrive and have the best opportunity that they deserve.